Hey Del Oro community, since starting this job, I've had the opportunity to meet with a handful of previous Del Oro teachers and administrators to just get to hear some stories of legacy of this place. We've got all these places on campus that are named for significant people. We've got Ron Jones Music Room, Bonner and Yokoti Gyms, and a handful of others. And so we wanted the opportunity to tell these stories. And so what we're doing right now.
What we're doing right now is we're standing on the Fletcher Christiansen field, and this was named in August of 2019 after the longtime co-head coaches Bob Christiansen and John Fletcher. And unfortunately, John Fletcher, Coach Fletcher, passed away in 2018. We were able to connect though with Bob Christiansen and just kind of connect and see how they met and how this legacy kind of began with the co-head coaches. So here we go.
John and I met the same day. We came to Del Oro to be interviewed for a job, and John got here first, and so I got there. He was already being interviewed, and so he after half an hour or so, he comes walking out, and he's pretty short. You know, he was pretty short, and I was pretty tall, so we came out, he was looking at me, and he was looking up at me, and I was looking down at him, and then so he left, and then I got the interview, and then that night we were called and said we'd like you both to come to Del Oro, and John, who had been a coach before, a head coach, it was the JV head coach, and I was assistant the first year. And then we had so much in common with what we felt about football and how to play and what we need to do, that we just said, look, we'll just become co-head coaches because that's really what we are. So the principal said that's fine with him if it's okay with us. So we were some of the first ones that had co-head coaches. And like I said, for 16 more years.
In addition to what we learned from Coach Bob Christiansen about his relationship with John Fletcher, we also asked him about what he believes is the best part of Del Oro, and as an admin team, we wholeheartedly agree.
I would say the best part about Del Oro is the kids. We have great kids. You know, and people, other schools don't realize what great kids we have. Mm-hmm. We have really good parents for the most part. There's always a parent who wants you to listen to them about how you should be making these changes because he thinks it's better than this or whatever. Or my son was late to practice and he had to go to see his teacher. Well, yeah, that's the rule, and so we'd have to explain all that stuff. But very seldom. I don't know what they're like now. We had very few parents who would come to us with complaints.
While undoubtedly the kids are the best part, sometimes the kids did make some poor choices. We
had an issue that there was trees down there and kids going up there, some were smoking and stuff like that. And they could see you coming, but we couldn't see them. So we go up that and the vice principal would come up here and they'd look at this tree that was outside because it was a huge tree. That's where the kids were, and they'd look around and take a puff, and if somebody came up, they'd just put it out and get things out of the way. So, who was it? No, it wasn't Monty. It was Judy. Judy, one of they got up here, and sure enough, they caught about 10 kids. And that word got out, and we had no more problems doing that.
So I had the amazing pleasure of having Coach Christiansen and Coach Fletcher as teachers, and they were coaching when I was a student, and then even when I was doing student teaching, Coach Fletcher was my mentor, and he was guiding and always holding students accountable and players accountable. And Coach Christiansen reminded of something that they used as their accountability or discipline for their players, and he called it the wheel of misfortune.
We got the wheel of misfortune. If a teacher comes to us, you're going to have to spin the wheel. If you don't commit to practice on time, you're going to spin the wheel. And and so, and then we started doing it, and they thought that was a blast. It was, they would cheer, and especially if the guy, the worst one was probably running 50 stairs or something like that. If someone got that, they'd go, oh! So anyway, it was a way of disciplining without them realizing they were being disciplined. Because if they weren't late, they didn't have to worry about it. And so, oftentimes they might turn somebody else in who did come late. Did you see John? He came late, or so. Anyway, that was something that went really, really well.
So on Friday nights this fall, we'll be right here on Fletcher Christiansen Field, cheering on our Golden Eagles. So come and join us.